Patrice married Columbia University graduating college. And that to me is what brings the whole thing full circle. And that
wait, what? What did you just say?
I'm saying that what brings the whole story full circle. And I thought that was a great. This is one of the. I honestly think this is one of the greatest Stoogetalk lives that we have ever had. It was concise.
Yes.
It was information laden.
Yes.
And we had some great laughs. So thanks for joining us, guys.
We weren't live.
What happened?
We were not live. The internet wasn't working. It was a false start. All that stuff you did.
I was talking the whole time.
It didn't. I know.
Why didn't you say something?
Because I was fascinated and I didn't want to interrupt
I was
you.
Vaccinated too, right here on the arm. We're live now. Oh, we are.
At Stoogetalk. Hello. I'm Andy P.
We start all over. Hello.
And welcome to Stoogetalk Live. I'm Andy P.
I'm Cricky D, and that's really hard to do with only two people. Three-part harmony of two people, not so good.
Yeah, we're missing our Curly G, the youngest grandson of Curly Howard.
Are we missing him?
Of the Three Stooges. Yeah, I threw something at him, and I completely missed him.
Yeah, I missed him earlier today, and I was driving. Anyway,
yes.
Bradley.
Hi, Bradley. I hope you're out there watching. In typical Stooge fashion, just a complete mix-up. Mix-up. He was like, "Hey, let's shoot." He wanted to shoot Fastlane. He's like, "Let's shoot Fastlane before we go to Stoogetalk Live." And I'm like, "I'm not going to be ready for Fastlane. I can't get it together in time." Yes. And so I think he took that as we weren't going live, even though we were planning on going live.
And full disclosure, though, none of us are particularly good at communication.
No,
so we are.
They're horrible.
None of them are. We all know up here exactly what's going on. Exactly.
None of them are.
But we don't like talking to each other, so we just keep it inside.
And for those of you who don't know what the Fastlane is,
what it are?
It's Three Stooges in the Fastlane, and that's where we deep dive into.
How could these people not know Three Stooges in Fastlane?
Yo, guys, if you don't know it, look it up. We're not telling you what it is.
Core constituency. These are our beloved family members. They know.
And Sue Prav is sending us love. Sue, unnecessary. We just made you a moderator on this channel as well. We love you. Thank you. And to all our regulars who are here, we got Daisy and Robbie Batista. Hello from California. Where in California?
Wow, we could drive.
Maybe we could. Yeah. Maggie Soul Cosplay, of course.
Big love, Maggie Soul Cosplay.
Jessica Mendoza.
Jesse Mendoza.
Anna Santizo sent us a lot of stars. Oh,
wow, that's nice. That's very nice. And I know Joel was on. Did he
Joel,
leave
please
us?
come back.
He got angry and left.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Joel should be angry because he sent us. Hold on, I should have this ready.
I'll end this away. I'd like to bring you up to date on a few of the events of the day. It is hot out there, and that's why I think the internet is failing us. It's the dog days of summer. And you know where the dog days phrase comes from?
No.
It's from ancient Roman and Greece. Serious. The dog star.
I cooked my potatoes in Greece.
Oh, is that right? Yes. Oh, that sounds tasty.
So Joel Hurley,
I'll get back to that later.
Joel Hurley sent us. Now, for those of you who don't know, we're on the cover of the last issue of the Three Stooges comic book. That's me as Curly. That's Curly's grandson. Curly G is Larry.
And that's some fake wannabe imposter.
Who?
Could be me.
Is someone trying to be you?
Yeah.
Mo Howard. We got to autograph this, and I thought tonight would be the night we actually get him his autograph. And Curly G's not here.
Wait, how did that happen? No, well, I'll do Curly. He'll never know. He'll never know. We just do it.
And then he sent us.
I'm saying
he sent us a copy of a script.
He's gonna look at it. He's gonna say, "Hey, that looks great."
He sent us a copy of the script to They Stooge Sakanga, but I don't think it's a copy of the shooting script. I think it's somebody took the movie and typed it up. So it's interesting. And I got to send it back. I copied it today. It's got Moe's and Curly's and everybody's. Stoogington. Andy, glad you guys are back. Question: do you know when I'll be receiving my picture of Curly?
Oh, you know what? This may be one of those communication issues because I know Brad had a few of those to go out, and between you and me and the four walls.
Yes.
4 walls. Well, there's no fourth wall, so the 3 walls. It's been a little frantic the last few weeks, which is why we've not been here. So he may have forgotten, but we'll nudge him. We'll make sure
we will nudge him. Checker Champ, to that, Curly G is not here tonight. We have a bit of a miscommunication. It has been Curly G, sadly, has been really crazed in his personal life. We're trying to get him back
Which should be no news to anyone watching this. He is really crazy.
Let's stop for a second because we have Chandler Isaac.
Chandler,
who is Shemp's great-granddaughter, is in the chat. Chandler,
where is she?
Would you please join us one of these? Come and sit and hang with us for Stoogetalk Live.
It's a long drive. She's got 2-3 blocks.
It's 2-3 blocks.
To get over
She's
here.
out pickleballing right now, right? So, hello, Chandler.
You know how I feel about that, Chandler.
So, in fact, Chandler, like I said, she has been out celebrating. She's in the pool.
Of course she's in the pool.
What? How come we weren't invited to go to the pool?
Have you looked at yourself? No, I want to know why I wasn't invited to go into the pool.
So, speaking of Chandler, right? So, she has just spent a good deal of Jimmy. Hiya, Andy and Chris, two favorite Stooges. We love you, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you very much. You're very generous. Joel, you too.
Joel, it's coming. We promise.
Are you doing?
Thank you very much. So Chandler's grandmother, who was married to Shemp's only son, Mort, Jerry Howard Greenbaum,
who is stunningly beautiful.
You would think she's 60.
I mean, yeah.
She's 94.
Yes.
And you would think she's 60.
Yeah, I'd be cradle rolling.
And she... Yes.
And I've tried.
I was totally hitting on her.
Yeah.
We celebrated her birthday. I was very honored to be part of her family celebration.
Oh gosh.
And you know,
Chandler's here. She heard us say that.
Oh,
never mind.
By the way, everybody go give Chandler Isaac some love. Make sure you follow her YouTube channel. I'm trying to get her to put on more stuff on her YouTube and her Facebook. Make sure you're following her on both. And while we're at it, the Shemp Howard Goyles on Facebook. There's a page and there's a group, right? And the group you could post your own stuff and interact with the other fans. And the page, the girls themselves post stuff from their family, from Shemp. They have great stories. Like I said, Chandler's grandmother Jerry was married to Shemp's son Mort, and man, I had dinner with her last night.
What?
Yeah, I had dinner with her and the whole family. Yeah, and it was absolutely incredible. And she's telling me stories.
Cell phone
when she's like, "Oh, when Lou Costello would come over to the house, and and Jimmy Durante would come over. He loved Shemp." And Bob Hope she told me Bob Hope would come over to the house and pick up Shemp and take him to the studio.
Oh my God! Because Shemp wouldn't drive. Shemp wouldn't drive anywhere.
Right. She told me why.
Well, while he's getting whatever he's getting, I gotta say one of the greatest gifts of all time of me being this interloper, this Mo guy that just kind of snuck in, is meeting all of the Shemp Howard Goyles, because they are absolutely fantastic, each and every one of them.
They are fantastic. And Chandler's mother, Sandy Howard, I think does the bulk of the Shemp Howard Goyles posts.
Yeah.
And she's really good.
She's delightful.
She's such a delight, and she has so much personal knowledge of Shemp and Shemp's family. Here, I don't know why I brought that, but like since we're talking about Bob Hope, this is my Bob Hope.
Yes, Bob, don't stick your hand up the back of me, Hope. No.
This is my Bob Hope puppet. Right?
You're taking this out?
I am going to take it out.
You're going to take it out. It's melted to the top.
Oh, it better not be.
Yeah, well, it is. Now it was.
I got a little. I've never met. I never met Bob Hope, although he lived around the corner in Toluca Lake. But I have a great little story that connects me to Bob Hope.
Okay.
So there was a record store. I think it's still there in Hollywood, in like West Hollywood, right? And it's near a flea market. No.
I know exactly.
You know
on Melrose.
He's got on Melrose.
On Melrose.
He has over a million records in that store. You been in there?
I've been to the store,
and he's been there forever.
And the store is as big as this apartment.
Yes.
And there's
and it's huge. And I went in there one time and I said, "Hey, do you have any Skinny Ennis records?" Now, Skinny Ennis was the singer on the Abbott and Costello radio show. And like I said, Lou Costello and Bud Abbott would come over to Shemp's house. Jerry was telling me this last night. She said more so Lou Costello, but both of them. And he was also, Skinny Ennis was also the singer on Bob Hope's radio show. And I went in and I love Skinny Ennis, right? But there's not a lot of stuff out there. And I went and I said, "Hey, do you have any
Skinny Ennis? This is just so like you,
yeah,
though, to walk in.
And I said, "Do you have any Skinny Ennis records?" And he goes, "Skinny Ennis? The last guy to come in here and ask for Skinny Annis records was Bob Hope.
And then he brought out a box full.
That's about right. I bought everything he had.
Well, I've got 2 stories related to that. Can I share?
Please
They're
do.
not necessarily Stooges.
They're Stooge adjacent.
They're Stooge adjacent.
We'll get to the Stooges.
All right. This one, I've told Jamie this one. This is true. California, Barron's California Hats used to be in my neighborhood up in Burbank. And they used to do hats for everybody, right? Everybody. Like all the hats.
Oh, Baron hats.
Barron's.
Chicos.
Yeah. This is what I'm going to tell you about. I went in. I had just started doing Chico Marks.
Okay.
And I couldn't find a good hat. Everybody had those little Peter Pan crap. They were crap hats.
Yes.
And so I said, maybe Barron's. So I go into Barron's and the guy's there. And he said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I don't know if this, I'm looking for a Chico Marks hat. And he's like, Chico Marks? I said, yeah, he's like an immigrant hat. He's like an Italian. It's kind of, it's like a soft thing. And he goes, Chico Marks. He goes, I don't know. What is it, like felt? I was like, yeah, it's felt. And he goes, I got a couple. Let me see what I can do for you. And he goes back, and I tell you, he took his time. He probably went back and said, I gotta go.
I'm going to tie this into the Stooges too. You have no idea.
Okay.
I'm going to totally tie this.
So he comes back out, and he goes, I didn't have any hats, but I got this. And he puts a hat block up, and it was Chico Marks' hat block. He says, we did all of Chico's hats.
Oh my!
We did his hats. And I said, how much to do one for me? So that was.
So your Chico Marks hat is from them?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So,
yeah. But it's not. It needed some work actually because Chico. Knowing Chico, he probably bought one.
Ever. Oh, and kept it. Yeah.
And then Paramount bought the other one.
Right.
But, yeah. But it took some work. But hey, who doesn't like a Chico Marks hat story? Huh? Go on.
So I went in probably 2010 or 11, and I don't know. I was probably 30, but feeling like I was 80. Right? So no, they're still around. They're just downtown. They're not in Burbank. Yeah, but they were still in Burbank.
Okay.
And I was just feeling beaten down by Hollywood.
Huh.
And I went in there, and I know
that must be so unusual for you.
They went in. Yeah. They went in, and they made the Rocky hat. They made Rocky's hat. Yes.
His little pork pie?
Oh, yeah. In fact, they told me a story. All right. I know we're getting way off Stooges. We're going to get back to Stooges.
We'll get back. Well, it's Rocky, so I give you another.
Yeah, okay. So they made the Rocky hat. And in fact, when Stallone, I'm telling this out of school here, when Stallone had to give his Rocky hat
he's probably tuning in.
When Stallone had to give his Rocky hat to the Smithsonian, he didn't want to do it. So he goes back to them and he says, hey, I don't want to give my Rocky hat. I want to make me another one. I'll make me another one and then make it aged so it looks like the original. And that's the one he gave him. So there.
Oh my God!
Right?
I worked with the Smithsonian, and if I get a chance, I'm going to go back to the courier and I'm going to tell him that
it's a fake. That's fake. So I wanted a hat from Rocky Balboa when Rocky was older and kind of beat down, and just like
from 3? Or
no, from Creed? 6. Rocky Balboa, the one that came after 5.
Oh, see, I stopped watching about that.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
You missed one of the best ones
Jessica
ever.
Mendoza. She knows. I'm crazy.
This is the one where Rocky still got stuff in the basement. Okay. And he's got a different hat. And I wanted his hat from that because that's what I was identifying with.
Wow.
And they're like, well, okay, we'll make you one. And he went and they said, we can't get that fabric no more. So you got to find, you got to pick out.
Where's your grandma?
No, my grandma, she's with my grandpa.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, and they're like, look, you got to find another fabric. Would you be okay with that? And I said, I'm going to pick a fabric, right? I'm going to pick a fabric that I want with that. No, I already did this.
That's Chico.
I said, I'm going to pick a fabric that I like, that'll feel good to me. But then you'll make it in the style of the Rocky Balboa hat. And that's the hat Brad uses as Larry.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's why we're like, when we just like, with Manhandle is like $400 handmade, one-of-a-kind hat.
The hair?
Yeah. The one I think is now at your house since you last had it. Yeah.
No, I have another one up there because I was going to do the red.
No.
One.
But the like the tan.
Oh, and I didn't tell you this. We have like red hair for Eli, our new Larry, who's got hair.
So let's talk about
his hair is jet black. But I got red hair. I left it outside deliberately, and the sun bleached it perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I got a Bob Hope story too before we go.
A boo?
A Bob Hope story.
Oh, go ahead.
Back in the day, when I first came out to LA, I was working as a caterer, which was my excuse for not being an actor, I guess. But I was working as a caterer, and we did a party at Bob Hope's house.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and Bob Hope and
Bob
Hope and Dolores. Everybody was in, and they all sat down at these tables. Now Bob Hope and Dolores came down the main stairs, which were like parallel stairs. They came down the staircase. They met in the middle. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? And then
you could do to
the other side of the room,
of course,
and never spoke again.
All right, so
who else was at that?
Who? George Burns,
Danny Thomas.
Oh yeah,
George Burns.
Of course.
Who I'm telling you.
Oh,
was about this with the table, and his manager's here, and they serve blue crab, soft shell blue crab. What is this, Hobby? I can't eat that. I can't eat it.
Wait, we got to get back to George Burns.
We'll get back later.
We do got to get back to that. But it's funny. Also, Bob Hope and Shemp. So I was talking to Jerry last night, and she was just spewing all these stories that she had never told me before. It was like they were all coming back.
This
was amazing, right?
I wasn't there.
It's kind of a long story. I called in sick, and I drove down.
Well, Shannon doesn't.
Can you blame her?
She's on.
So
I understand.
She used to tell me. She used to tell me how Jerry was telling me Bob Hope would come over and pick up Shemp, and I made a joke because I heard Bob Hope was a little bit of a girl hound. Right. And so I was just like,
well,
so I'm sitting here, it's Jerry sitting here. And all right, so I got to do like this towards the camera. So get it. You have to look at the screen so you can get the look. And I was like, so did Bob Hope hit on you? And she goes, and that's all I got. And I'm like, tell me more. Tell me more. And she was like,
oh my God.
And I was like, oh, we got to get some vodka, a martini, and I'm taking her out, just me and her, and I'm getting that story.
My buddy ran into him at Gelson's at Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
And,
Bobo?
Yeah, and he was looking for like produce. And he asked my buddy, he said, are those English cucumbers? And he goes, yeah. And he went, yeah, it's me. Anyway, that was it.
Jerry also told me that, so Sandy used to work at Vaughn's around the corner here by Milton Edie's in Toluca Lake, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Jonathan Winters, who was in It's a Mad World.
Thus,
technically,
to
with
the
Three Stooges.
There you are.
Right? I'm always trying to make a connection. Oh, bye, Chandler. She's off the pickleball.
No, Chandler, don't. Believe me, you've got to stop. You need to take up hockey. I need a left winger.
So she was telling me, Sandy was telling me, and then Jerry was telling me that Jonathan Winters saw Jerry, who, Mort had passed away by this point. Mort passed away in the 70s. He died of cancer, unfortunately, sadly. And he was also, him and his partner were the first people to open up a self-service gas station in California. And it was on Havenhurst and Ventura, I believe. And it was like 18 pumps or something like that. He had passed away. So I think this was in the 80s or maybe even the 90s. And Jonathan Winters kept trying to pick up on Shemp's great daughter-in-law.
What a surprise. What a surprise. Oh, and we just got, who just posted it?
Who? How dare they?
I just want to go back because Curly Joe DeRita's birthday is tomorrow. And we're going to mention that.
I have there's so much to talk about, and we're so disorganized tonight.
Was it Kayla? Was it you? Somebody just mentioned it, and I just saw it flying by, and we knew we wanted to talk about that. This was also the day in 1940. I'll Never Heil Again. Was released.
That was released today.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, good point.
Stooges. So it's all about Stooges.
I'm gonna look this up as we're talking, but I'll tell the story. I know we're kind of all over the place, but I got a great Curly
We've
Joe.
been gone for a while.
We have been. I got a great Curly Joe DeRita story.
What'd you do?
No, I'm doing this.
You're doing a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, see,
I'm going to tell you guys that nobody knows. That right now, me and maybe two other people on the planet know. Right now.
Wow, now the rest of us.
I got to write this down. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you.
This?
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's just an interesting fact, right? Okay. So I was talking to Bob Benjamin this morning, and Bob Benjamin was Curly Joe's stepson, right? And he was like, "Oh," he goes, "I saw a video today called the Real Life Wives of the Three Stooges."
Oh my!
And he goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "And they talk of my mother, but they get her name, they get her picture wrong." Picture. Now seeing this, he's like, where they talk about Curly Joe's wife, who's my mom, and it was apparently his second wife. His first wife died. They were both dancers, and he goes, and they were talking about my wife, and he goes, my wife's name was Jean Sullivan. He goes, but that was her stage name. Her real name was Willa Jean. I don't know how to pronounce it. Willa Jean Rasse, and it's Rase, right? And Willa Jean was Willowgene. So when she changed her name to Jean Sullivan, she spelled it Gene like a man. And then people was like, "Why would you spell it that way?" So she changed her name to Jean Sullivan, Jean. And so Bob was like, "Yeah, her name was Willa Jean Rasse. Yeah, R-A-S-E. Race. Maybe that was it." And he goes, "Come to think of it, you and me might be the only people on the planet who know that fact." And I was like, I gotta let people know. I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one.
A great fact.
It's a great little fact, for like diehard Stooge fans.
Now, did you show anything there, or you just looking?
I had to look up because I had typed it out.
For me, I lost everybody.
That's okay. Now we're back, and we got Joel Hurley and Andy Rideau and Checker Champ, Old Soul. Suprav,
Andy Rideau saying George Burns was a girl hound. I think he played a girl hound. I'm not sure that he really was.
Who?
George Burns. I mean, he was truly devoted to Gracie and Gracie's passing. Gracie. I mean, he would never have done anything with it. But I think he played that because when he was older, he was doing things with Brooke Shields, and that was what he did.
Right.
Speaking of George Burns.
Speaking of, which is real quick, let's say hi to Paris Finley, who said, "Hi, everyone. I knew you were coming, so I baked the cake."
Oh, I hope it gets shoved in my face.
Hassan, good to see you, nitwits. How you been? I hope Brad is well. We think Brad's well. We haven't seen him.
Brad's fine. It's just
he's been always so busy.
It's a little calmer when he's not here.
I know, and I'm sorry about that, folks. We did go. Wait, I can do it. By the way, we did go to Disney together.
We did. That was a great time.
We did do a live. It's on Curly G's channel. We went to Disney together. We're celebrating 100,000 subscribers on a Three Stooges Plus channel and on YouTube. And now we're at 117,000 or 18,000 as of today. It's moving fast.
We got to get it back to work.
Yeah, we do. We got to get it. We got to get it up. I want to get it to 1 million. Let's get it to 1 million. Share it with people. Let's get the word out.
Earl wants to get it to 1 million.
Well, he sure does.
Yeah, he made that very clear at lunch.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
I was like, by the end of today, Andy. By the end of today.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I have a lot of things I want to implement, and obviously I want new Stooge stuff. And I got, should I share? Should I?
Yeah, you can. It doesn't mean we'll ever have it.
Oh, it's happening.
No, I wanted them to make a new Indiana Jones film. And then wait.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, I wish they had. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, wait, what are we doing?
I don't know. You were going to say something about what you're working on.
Can I? All right. Hold on.
See, here he goes again. Now I'm going to tell you about it. So Sirius, the dog star, would appear before sunset and before sunrise. And the Greeks and Romans knew when they saw the Sirius.
Listen, this is going to be really hard to show.
I'm just doing this. I'm just stretching while he goes and gets things.
This is really hard to show.
He's a prop comic.
Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, this is between us.
This is between us.
Between us. You and me and the 300-400.
This is it. I wanted to announce this when I was really ready to go, but I want to do a Three Stooges cartoon. I've talked about this.
Yes.
Script son.
Yes, and Errol, I don't know if Errol's watching tonight, but he sent us an email. He sent me a handwritten Errol rates us these good notes. He's had some great ideas for wraparounds.
Oh,
for us to do live wraparounds.
That's right. Yeah. Which I wanted to do. I have a different idea than he had, but very good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But like I started, you can't see it. I don't know if you can see it. This is I started to do.
Oh my God,
little Larry sketch.
A little Spunko.
It's kind of. It's definitely inspired. You know what I started to do? I started to. You can't really see it from here. But I started.
No, you can see it.
I took the 1960s cartoon Larry, and I was like drawn from it. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? Not that anything's wrong with it, 'cause I absolutely love it. But like, what would I do to it? And Spunko, this Larry,
Come on.
it's so ingrained in my soul. And one of the reasons, I'll tell you why.
I didn't mean it.
I found this Larry at Suncoast Video when I was probably 17 years old in New York City. And I was feeling very alone. Right?
Well, 17 in New York City, anyway.
Yeah. And I lived there by myself, or I had some roommates, but like nothing, it was just rough time. And I always felt like I always felt like Curly, just in general. Like, this the word, it's just like this, childish goof who's just got great intentions and, a little bit of a jokester, but the world beats on them.
Yes.
And I never had a Larry. And I found this Larry, and they never got Mo and Curly. And I begged them, and I tried to order it, and nothing. So I had it. I don't know. I don't know. But I found this Larry just sitting by himself, and I knew it was Larry from across the room. And I'm like, and I kept it everywhere. I went across country with Larry, and I took pictures with Larry. And I realized much later, I was like, why? And I was like, because he just felt like my only friend in a weird way, let's be dramatic movie way, right?
That's what we said.
But yeah, it was just like, because I think I felt like Curly and Mo was the world beating on me. And so this thing really influenced me. It was.
Shut up, kid. Go to Zaba's. Get me a hot muffin.
But wait, there's another funny thing about this theory is that I had this dream probably about 21 years old, right? Where I dreamed that I was a valet. And Steven Spielberg comes up to give me his card. I'm like, Mr. Spielberg. I'm like, please, tell me how to break into the movie business. And it was basically this Larry doll with a beard and the hat and the glasses. And his nose was so big. And he touched me like this. He got this close to me. And his nose was literally like this. And he goes, get in by writing. And I woke up the next morning and I'm like, I'm not going to be a writer.
Listen.
And I got in by writing.
I can talk to Spielberg.
How? He could be our Larry. He can be our Larry.
Spielberg.
He's as reliable as all our other Larrys.
I've got a history at Universal. He actually jumped off the tram. That's a true story.
That's true, he did.
It's a true story. He jumped off the tour tram and he hung out in a production meeting until he got a task, and he did it even though they didn't pay him a thing.
Oh. Jimmy,
what are you doing?
Thank you so much. Ridiculous. We love you so much. Andy Saxon asked for prayers from his. Let's talk about Saxon.
Thank
you, Andy.
Saxon's going through some stuff.
He is going through some stuff.
So he's the most wildly positive person I think I've ever met going through this stuff.
So everybody who knows the Stooges will know Emil Sitka.
Yes.
Right, who started in Curly's very last short, Halfwit Holiday, and worked right through all the Shemps.
You love her.
Jerry was telling me he was super close friends with Shemp. They were very close friends.
Wow.
And then he continued on.
A lot younger than he appears.
Yeah, because he was dressed as an old man, which is brilliant, right? And he went right through Curly Joe's era. And in fact, when Larry had a stroke in 1970,
Larry had
a stroke. They were going to replace Larry with Sitka, called Harry, and make him Larry's brother. And then eventually, so it must have been like 1974 or 5.
Yeah.
When they decided, they took a couple pictures, and then Mo died. Then Larry died, and then Mo died.
Bang, bang, bang. That was 75.
Yeah, May. I think Mo died in May 75 before he was born. So, anyway, he has a son, Saxon, who we absolutely adore and we love, and he's going through it right now. So, feel free to go to Facebook, go to Emil Sitka fan club on the Facebook group, and just pour out your love to Saxon.
Yeah,
absolutely adore him.
Yeah,
we've never had him on a show. He keeps saying he wants to join us.
He's committed. I think he wants to get back.
Of course he does.
We want to do a fast lane. So I asked him what would be the number one short he'd want to profile on fast lane. And he said because of his dad, it's
It's funny. Yeah.
Which is they do a youth share, which is funny. I forgot because we did youth share.
We did. Yeah.
But,
with your son.
Yes.
Who was an amazing young Mo.
Yes. And
Yeah.
now he's no longer, he's outgrown Mo. Like, we're getting to do fun of that a little bit. Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, but Saxon, I know Saxon's going to do fine.
He's going to do fine.
He's in the war right now.
Yeah.
He's a battle. So we do send you our love and prayers, Saxon.
We used to reach out to because I want to give him positive vibes and love and prayers, of course, everything. Yeah. So Saxon, Sitka, and then
Geekadelic says somebody did Let's Make a Deal.
Saxon or Sitka. Sitka was on. Yeah, Emil and Sitka was on Let's Make a Deal. Yes.
With Wayne Brady?
No, with
Monty Hall. All right, I'm just saying.
Wayne Brady. Yeah. Come on.
Wayne and I have a weird connection.
Oh, that's true. You do.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you were going to say when I was talking Chico, you said I'm going to bring that back to Stooges.
Well, I did.
I
did.
What did I miss?
So the hat I had made is the Larry hat that we choose. So Baron hat.
Baron's California hat.
We treat it really roughly, and every time I'm like secretly going, $400 handmade, perfectly molded to my head hat.
I cannot believe you're allowing that to even happen. Because I love that hat. I'm like, that is so great.
I love that.
And I bet your other one.
I am committed to us playing the Stooges. And I honestly think that I picked the color of the hat because we couldn't get the original Rocky color because of the hat that Larry wears in that like famous publicity photo, right? And because he wears a very similar hat, and it's been colorized, and it's like a tan color. So that's kind of why I picked that hat, and that goes back a long, long time.
I'm looking up something again because I wanted to ask the folks out there about this because I was in an auction for a piece of art. I don't know if you can see this. I'll see if I can do it. Who's the artist? The artist is somebody. I'm telling you, a woman from Pittsburgh named Kathy Trellini.
Okay.
And she did this lithograph. This came up in auction. And it's I don't know if anybody's seen this one. I don't know if you can see that. And this was just I'd never seen it before, and I got outbid at the last second because I wasn't paying attention.
You gotta pay attention, bro.
But I would love to just get a copy of this. I don't even care if it's framed. I don't care. It's great. It's great. It's like that one that I have on the T-shirt, the one that you have up here.
Yes.
It's just great.
That one great was a big lawsuit.
Gary Saturday or something. Anyway, there you go.
Okay, we got a lot of questions. How are you, Jessica? Praying for Saxon. Thank you very much. Somebody asked, are we going to be on this channel, or if this is a one-time thing? I think if Curly G's not on, we're going to come here.
I will say what he's not saying, which is we're going to try to expand as much as we can.
Yes.
YouTube
really has a very hard time for some reason with that Curly's Grandson's channel. And it's not pushing us out. It's suppressing us for some reason.
Not just that. I'm going to say what you won't say.
Okay.
Which is the official Three Stooges channel is available to us.
Yeah, so, that's true.
So that's something we're trying to move toward.
Yes, which we can do. Yes.
We take baby steps.
So for those of you who don't know, and this is funny because for those of you who don't know, I work for C3 Entertainment, which owns the Three Stooges, and I run all their social media, and among other things. But and I absolutely adore working for the Three Stooges, right, and keeping their legacy alive and helping build it.
Oh, and because you won't say it, you have had a significant impact on not just their reach, but their approach to the Stooges reach. I think they begin to realize we really do have something.
Yeah.
I think they weren't quite there. They were like focused on other things. It's like, no, we have said there's love, and it's these people out here that helps validate that.
That's true, and actually, I think it's because of you guys, and it's because of our fans, and because of Stoogetalk Live is a big reason that I was able to even get the job. I mean, so Kurt Lamont, who unfortunately is not here with us tonight, but Larry's great-grandson, started, I really solidified friendship, and we did too, or you did too, by Stoogetalk.
He's the best.
Yeah, he is the best.
And he runs Shop Knuckleheads, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And you get a discount on Shop Knuckleheads. I forget what it is.
Yeah,
so
for
we'll post it.
Loyal 10.
Loyal 10.
Yeah, so Kurt runs Shop Knuckleheads for all your Three Stooges needs. We get all our shirts there and our mugs. And
I pitched an idea to him, but he didn't think it had any. I don't know.
Well,
just think we should look at it.
I think we should do.
I think we should.
We could figure it
and
out.
I'll throw it to them because it's a small group of folks. But I want to do a Three Stooges tarot deck.
I think it's brilliant. I told you to
every
write
character, it. Every character is
yeah.
I'm lazy.
Yeah,
but it's every character is a different character from a short.
I think it's brilliant.
And it's the tarot deck of misfortune. So it's like whatever you do, your fortune's terrible.
I think at the very least, right? We do it and we create an original work of art for each card.
We're gonna go from there.
Let's do
it. With your card,
or
with your cartoon.
Or if you guys just continue to like the channel and comment and subscribe and share, right? Then we could hopefully we could get some proceeds from that, because everything we make we put back into the Stooges. In fact, we spend a lot more than we should.
Believe me.
Which is even the reason I need a job. Because
no, I thought it was because I'm
trying to do this. Well, that's a big, yeah. By the way, that is a big problem. He did leave us for like 7 months. When I came back to LA, I was going to stay in New York and live in New York. And I'm like, you know what? No,
I was
going back to New York. You and me were going to produce a TV show starring Curly G.
I took
and
the Stooges.
Let's go, Dermot. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm leaving for 7 months.
The Middle East are the biggest friends in the world.
Well, you didn't bring me out there.
No, because they wouldn't have you. You'd have to wear that whole thing with the,
with the derby
and the thing and the thing. No derbies.
Wait, so I do gotta say, so Earl, my boss, who is the president of C3 Entertainment.
Yes.
One day, I started hosting the Three Stooges and Fascinating with Curly G and Kurt, right? And
which you shoot in his office.
Yeah, which we shoot at C3 at Stooge headquarters. And one day he was like, "Oh, you're the official Stooge ambassador." And I was like, "Oh, that's cute. It's funny." And then he started calling me that more and more. This is funny. It's funny. I like that. I like that. And then I realized he was serious. And it was a real title that meant a lot to him. And it wasn't just a joke. And I went on our website one day and I was like, head of marketing and social media, official Three Stooges ambassador. And I was like, I'm the official Three Stooges. Like, it hit me.
That's like, yeah.
It hit me. Like, yeah, and somebody in the company suggested, like, hey, maybe we should, like, give honorary titles out, like official titles to the fans. And he was like, Andy is our official Three Stooges ambassador. And I was like,
we got to get you you Nazi spy outfit with all the medals.
I was like, okay, we do got to do that. That's regardless.
I'm sure that's in the basement, right, where you found the turban.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys see the other day on the Three Stooges Facebook page? I have Curly Joe's turban from when he would do the live show, the Maha routine. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to wear this today.
I wish I could bring all of you with us when he takes us down to the basement of the building. And he opens the doors, and then suddenly there's, why is this here? This should be the Smithsonian.
I know. There are things in there, and it's just like, we gotta get this up to the fans. And I hear there's a whole nother storage unit out in the desert somewhere, and I'm dying.
Not the one we did for Veterans Day.
No,
that's
a different thing. Yeah, no. And I want to know what's in it, and I keep saying, look, if it's old merchandise or if it's old like stuff, like, hey, I'm like, that was Chandler and the pickle. I usually play pickleball with them, but on Tuesdays. And then, here's the thing. And then they're like, oh, let's do it on Thursdays. And I'm like, Thursdays Stoogetalk live. And they're like, well, we'll do it without you. Oh, really?
Okay, folks.
Okay.
Did you get the message? Did you get the message?
Here's the thing. I could have said, oh, sorry, no Stoogetalk. I'm going to pickleball. But no, I want it to be here.
And Brad's at pickleball. Now, if it was Friday night, we're in trouble because that's my hockey night. We're going for a championship hat tomorrow night.
Yeah, but you know what?
Championship hat. Champions.
I want you to go out there as Mo one time.
What? Just play hockey?
Just play hockey as Mo.
Do you know there's another team? There's another team. This is honest to God. There's another team in my beer league, roller hockey league called the Stooges.
No way.
I've tried to get on a team, but I can't leave my team. If they don't take my whole team, I can't. How am I going to play the Stooges? Plus,
did you play the same night?
Yeah.
But I do gotta say, with you doing your hockey, you would not have done it on a Thursday night. You worked around Stoogetalk.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yes.
And
100%.
I appreciate it more than anybody, and they appreciate it. I know you did.
Oh,
yeah.
See. Hockey's just fun. Hockey's fun. Hey, can I talk about this real quick?
No.
Because this is nothing. Okay,
go ahead. Talk about it real slow.
I'm going to talk about it quickly.
Okay,
because we should have been out of the way earlier because it has nothing to do with Stooges. I don't think this has anything to do with Stooges. We did bring this up earlier, but this was something.
We got to figure out a way to tie it.
Another thing that I found at an auction, and again, you folks probably know better than I do where this thing came from. But as you may know, I do other impersonations.
You do?
But my favorite is Mo of the Three Stooges.
I know it is, yeah.
Followed by probably Larry of the Three Stooges.
You do Larry?
No. But I could. Stop
Actually,
it.
you could. That's Joe Besser.
Oh, wait. That's right. All right. Anyway. So this is a cigar box. Apparently, it's a legitimate cigar box. You can even get it personalized. This came in the deal. But it's got a name. It says, get this little nameplate. There's a nameplate on the front of it that says, get this personalized. You can put whatever you want on this. But, and those of you who know me will know why this is interesting to me. But look who's inside. Look who's inside of here. George Burns. Where am I pointing? There he is.
That's amazing.
It's this weird etching of George Burns. And so I turned this from my cigar box into my instant George Burns kit. Except I don't have the hair. So at Andy, it's very clear. You don't have the hair. You shouldn't do this. But
I did.
So
we got to do a lot of arguments before this thing starts.
We're going back to my catering days.
Oh, you did that.
And my George Burns. Harry, what is this? Crab?
So what would it be if
I don't eat crab.
if George Burns was home? Well, you know what's funny?
Hey, come here a second. Come here. Let's do those two.
Yeah.
Those are nice too.
Yeah.
You like the way they look? I like the way they look. Try them on.
Oh. Well, one of the things I've always wanted to do with you as George Burns is do a trailer for a movie that will never get made called "Oh God, You Stooge," where it's you as George Burns comes down as God, and Curly G Brad is the main character.
Listen, you have to get your head out of where it is currently, get it in the world that we're living in.
So you have a what's that? A humidor?
It's a humidor.
I have a cuspidor.
Let's have a drink. Let's have a cheers. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. No. Here. You got to drink out of this one.
Where's got a food market? I've always wanted one. My grandfather, the one who introduced me to Three Stooges, always had one sitting on there. I don't know why.
He doesn't have a toaster, but he's got a cuspidor.
I'm a very sentimental man, and this brings back a lot of love.
Anyway,
a lot of good memories.
I don't know. I hope this wasn't a waste of time. I love George Burns. George Burns is in that same world. And I think we've talked about this before, but George Burns, Abbott Costello, Laurel and Hardy, the Marx Brothers, the Stooges, everybody, that was an era when they shared comedy. Everybody would do bits and they would say, "Oh, you should see how they do it."
Yeah.
It wasn't like they're stealing my bit. No, it's like, oh, he does a great thing with that.
Right. Well,
anyway,
and so George Burns.
I asked Gracie how's her brother, and she talked for 35 years. All right, never mind. That's it.
So
moving on.
George Burns did a movie with W.C. Fields.
Was it one of the Hollywood heydays?
I want to say it was like $1 Million Land, the big broadcast in 1938.
One of those Hollywood.
And then, of course, W.C. Fields did Bank Dick with Shemp.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
So, and what I'm told is, and this is straight from Jerry.
How did I not? What is
that
happening?
Is that
I thought we were friends?
W.C. Fields did not like Shemp because he would steal the show. And that's why they never worked together again.
Yeah,
he liked them right up until they shot.
I think I would love to spend the night with Shemp because I think Shemp was the most probably like benevolent and yet acerbic.
Yes,
like it's Moe and Curly perfectly mixed.
So everybody liked Shemp. And so, and then here's the other thing Jerry was telling me. So Shemp's wife was friends with a very famous madam. And Shemp was really angry about it, really upset about it. And I can't remember the madam. There was a movie based on her life, a book based on her life.
Oh, wait a minute. Fear of Flying?
No.
How late? When was this?
I don't remember.
Erica Jong?
That's like a New York.
Wow.
But Shemp was friends.
Jack Benny. Who's saying Jack Benny?
Shemp was friends with.
Oh, God, you Stooge. Thank you, Stu.
Mickey Cohen.
We're going to have to.
The gangster.
Oh, my God. You know, I did a museum.
They were really good friends.
Mickey Cohen
involved
in it?
Really?
Yeah. I was working with a total idiot curator.
Of course.
And he had Mickey Cohen's golf clubs. And he said, "Hey, do you want to go play? Let's go play golf." And we went out and played golf with his golf club. But this is really what curators do with.
That reminds me of a Seinfeld episode.
Artifacts. Right.
But yeah, so Enrique Medina, welcome back. Missed you guys. One of my Stooge DVDs has a video of 1998 Stooge convention.
Oh my God.
The Shemp Howard girls were there. I think I spotted Chandler as a kid.
Oh my God.
Wait, what video? I want to see that. I was probably there.
The 8th convention, I think, happened today as well. This is the anniversary of the 8th convention.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I don't even know what that is. 80 something?
Wait, happy birthday to Lizzie Server. Oh, Brad's daughter on the 4th of July.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She had a birthday.
Chandler had a birthday. Do we even talk about Chandler's birthday?
No, we did
She had a fantastic block party.
She had a huge block party.
And I went in her backyard and she yelled at me and said, "The party's on the street."
Oh, yeah. Well, you had no clothes on.
She hit me with a dish. Well, but that's normal. She should know.
That's true. So her birthday was the 27th, the 21st. Sorry. The longest day of the year, of course.
Yeah. And
if you know Chandler.
Yeah. Because she's playing pickleball, I can get away with saying that. No, it was a great party.
It was a great party. Her and her husband had a big block party, and we partied all weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. I've got some news. It's kind of big news.
Okay.
It's kind of big news. My son, Sean, who's he's my oldest son.
Oh.
He has finished 2 years of college, and he said to me, "Dad, I don't think college is my thing. I'd like to do something else." And so he applied and was accepted to a program called the Pennsylvania College of Art and Design, working with Rock Livitz.
What does that mean?
Rock Livitz is a really big live entertainment production company that is associated with a company I used to work with. So they do like big rock shows. So he has been accepted in a 1-year program to go work with them, which means working in this place, whether it's audio design, lighting design, I don't know. I don't care. But here's the news. It has nothing to do with Sean.
Okay.
It has to do with me. I'm going to get in a car with Sean on August 10th.
Okay.
And I'm driving across the country.
You're going to miss my birthday.
Yes. I'm not really going to miss it. But I'm going to drive across the country, and I'm taking him to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he needs to be there for the 19th.
Okay.
So we're trying to get into Lancaster by the 16th. And on the route, I'm trying to find ways to connect with fans wherever, if and wherever we can. But I have to get Sean where he needs to get to first.
Okay.
So just letting you know, I'm sure that somewhere Jamie Grassi has just fallen to her knees because she's close enough to Lancaster to come down.
Well, also Robertino, you'll be passing.
Robertino's in Akron. I might be able to find a way to get over there to Akron.
So for those of you who don't know who Robertino is.
Robertino's the man.
Robertino has got although apparently he got rid of a lot. Yeah,
he did. Thanks.
But in his house, he's a big Stooge fan. And we only know him originally through Stoogetalk Live.
Yeah, he's one of our oldest though.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, he's one of the OGs." And he was like, and I was driving across country because I've driven across country almost 50 times in my lifetime.
Yeah,
I go twice a year.
Coming with me on this one.
Not in August.
Yeah, it's
my birthday.
In a Volkswagen.
I'm shooting something.
Are you?
Oh,
who are you shooting?
Wait, people are asking about the cause of Shemp's death. It's kind of debated. It's kind of debated. I believe it was a hemorrhage. It wasn't a heart attack, like it's been reported.
It was
but
quiet and peaceful and lovely.
Well, he was
in
coming
the
over.
back of a
He
car.
was coming over to pass.
Yeah.
He was laughing. He had a cigar in his mouth. They were coming back from a boxing match. And
Normally, after we shoot this, we'll sometimes go to a restaurant that's right on that pathway.
Yeah, right on. In fact, we met the voice of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, there, and it was just the three of you, me, and Brad were in a restaurant, and he came in, and I was like, this guy could be a Larry. And he was the only other person in the restaurant, and I'm like, I feel like I know him, which is weird because I actually directed him in a movie.
What?
Oh yeah, years earlier.
Oh my god!
And I couldn't. I knew I knew him somewhere. My reticular activating system is not super great, so I couldn't place him. Right, but
whatever.
But there was something about him that I was just like. So as we're walking out, you and Brad kind of go ahead, and I stop, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you a Stooge fan?" And he goes, "Stooge fan, of course." He goes, "In fact, I'm a Shemp apologist." I love Shemp.
I was there for that.
Yeah,
one.
and he's like, in fact, he died coming right over this pass, right over here. He's coming back from a boxing match. So I was like, yeah, we know. Yeah. We know his great-granddaughter. And in fact, this is Curly's grandson. And he did a whole bit because Brad's daughter, Lizzie, was a huge SpongeBob fan.
Of course.
And he did a video for us.
He did some things for my kids.
Oh, he did?
He did a little thing.
He did nothing for me. Nothing.
Well,
I didn't ask him to.
Well, there you go. See, you gotta get out of your shell.
I do want to get him on Stoogetalk Live though. I ran into him one more time after that. We didn't
go to his music.
We didn't go to his music, and I think we need to.
We better.
Yeah, and then we got to get him on the show because you guys would love talking to him. He's a hoot.
Yeah,
and great. I bet if we go to his music because he's a musician and he does live, he's got a band. I bet if we go, he would come on.
Oh, and again, it's ridiculous how many people are mainstream people. Are Stooge fans.
Well, so
huge.
I'm running the Three Stooges Instagram, and how many times am I like, oh, Carrie Elways just followed the Three Stooges.
Who else did we have? Luke.
Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Thank you. Who else did I run into?
There's another one, and I was just like, every time I find it, I was like, I screen grab the group. I got to send it to you guys.
Connor and I were out. We met. We were at we were seeing theater downtown. We were having a cultural evening downtown at the Amundsen Theater. We ran into the voice actor who does Doofenshmirtz.
Oh, he follows me on Instagram.
Yes.
Dan Hoffenmeyer,
and he talked about that, and we talked about the Stooges, another big Stooge fan.
Yeah, he's a big Stooge fan.
Big Stooge fan.
He literally follows me, and he follows Justin Tate, who was our original Larry when we started doing that.
I think he started following me because of that night.
Did he?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's been a disappointment ever since. So, but it's crazy how many people. I mean, you look at. We keep watching Seinfeld reruns, and there's the Stooge references in Seinfeld, every other week.
They're clearly all Stooge fans.
Every other week.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we do have this.
What?
We got to show
my
this.
Phone?
No, you clown.
Well, I'm not a clown. You're a clown.
So, for those of you who don't know, the Three Stooges have an official fan club, and it has been around since Mo and Larry gave their original blessing.
And on my trip, I do intend to take a side trip out to Philly and drop by the studio. So I do.
Oh, you do have to do that.
I'm hoping that I can get up over there.
I've never gone.
Well,
I've never gone, but we are in this issue.
We are in this issue.
We're
in multiple spots.
If you want to join the Three Stooges fan club, and I think you should, go to P.O. Box 747.
That's going to confuse everybody.
I'm not going to be able to do this. Gwynedd?
Yeah. Hold on. Wait a minute. This is Pennsylvania.
Spell
Gwynedd Valley, Pennsylvania. That's Gwynedd. Gwynedd Valley, Pennsylvania. 19437. Out of towners call collect. It's outside of Philadelphia. It's outside of Philadelphia.
It's Brett's address on there. He'll flip out.
That's
a good point.
He's not here. Anyway, so I hope you get that.
He's not paying attention.
That would be great. This is our second appearance in the Stooge Journal, which is to me this is like being in the Ten Commandments. It's like
I remember
this is decades long of publication.
Yeah,
and for us to be suddenly
decades. It's since the 70s. I know a part of it. And then
to be a thread in this is,
in fact,
mind-blowing.
I remember the first time, this goes back a couple years ago when we were doing the live show, when we were first put on the Three Stooges social media. I was like, We made it. Yeah, we made it.
We
So here's
get that live
Chandler
show. When are we doing that live show
and all the
again?
Shemp girls. So there's Chandler and her husband Jordan and Jill and I can't really see. There's Sandy and there's Jerry and there's Kurt Lamont who we miss. Kurt, if you're watching, come hang out with us.
I'm gonna give you one of these.
We miss you so much. And so we did go to Disney. And Kurt couldn't make it. It got rescheduled, and he was on a soccer tournament.
Yes.
Which we tell him to blow off, which he should have anyway since he lost. Sorry, Kurt.
They lost.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to a coach?
I didn't do that.
That's
he did it. He should have been at Disney.
Kurt, I'm so sorry to hear that you guys did everything you could. You put your guts out there. You put everything on the line. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes the thing bounces the wrong way. You what's the matter with you?
I don't know.
Well,
I miss Kurt. I miss him.
I miss
him. And I'm mad at him for not being here.
I miss Brad.
I miss Brad too.
I miss Bob Hope.
It's the last guy to go ahead, do it with Bob Hope. I can't do it.
Yeah, folks, Bob Hope here. Hoping you don't put your hand up my trousers. Don't put your hand up my trousers.
If you knew how much money I spent on that stupid puppet.
Well, let me just do this.
It's literally why I needed a job, because I do stupid things.
Yes, you have no idea the value of the things that are in this little apartment right now.
I don't know if there's value to it, but I know I spent a lot of money.
I don't know, but you got some valuable Stooge puppets too, my friend.
No.
You got some valuable Stooge puppets.
Oh, I do. I have one valuable Stooge puppet. Curly G took the other puppets away. Wow. I bought the 1959 Mo Larry Curly puppets from the same guy I bought this one in perfect condition. And then when Brad's 50th birthday came up, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I really want to give him this as a gift. And I gave it to him.
Well, that's because you're a moron. Why didn't you give it to me? Why'd you ever give it me as a gift?
Oh, Enrique says Bob Hope and Curly were born in the same year. I wish Curly lived to 100 too. Enrique, thank you. What's bad luck, Hassan? Wait, you got to keep the cigar out in honor of. By the way, Curly Joe
Dorita.
Yeah. Curly Joe, who had a cigar. He'd be on stage. I see pictures of him on stage doing the live show when he's got a cigar in his mouth. Like,
I can't imagine what that really must have been like. It must have been amazing.
I mean, there's comic book covers with it. You see, Lou Costello every once in a while, and even one of Curly. There's one of Curly with the cigar in his mouth and like Mo's pulling down his jacket and Larry's kind of standing there. I'm like,
I don't think I've ever seen him. He was a cigarette smoker, but he wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't think everybody was cigarette smokers. That's why they
all
look like.
Here's a whole article in the Three Stooges Journal about the stuntmen, right? Which is kind of close
tangential.
That's a tangential to you. So Dermot recently played the director in the Fall Guys stunt show at Universal.
Yes, my friend Ryan Gosling, who won't call me back. Oh. I don't know how many times. I text him all day long. He doesn't say.
There's great rare pictures in here. So anyway,
it's great. No, this really is great because the doubles, they didn't work really hard to double the Stooges. It was just sort of who was available.
But I think that's what's funny. I was talking to Mike Cerrone, who wrote the Three Stooges 2012 movie.
Yes.
Which
was a great interview, by the way.
It was a great.
And I just want to get into his car.
And adjust the camera. Yeah. That's on the third episode of Three Stooges and Fast Lane where we did Movie Maniacs. But I remember talking to him. I don't know if this made it into the final edit or not. But he says, the Three Stooges jump off the building. And he goes, and I wanted to make sure that we used the dummies, obvious dummies, to throw the dummies on the ground. And in that moment, it's like the dumber the comedy is, like the more, like they tried hard to make that look real, but they had they had a budget and they had time crunch.
You might as well make it obvious.
And it was funny. Yeah. It was really funny. And I'm glad they did that. And I think if the movie does suffer, it does suffer from any of the too polished stuff. The sweeping dollies.
Yes.
It should never have been that.
Yeah.
It should have.
Those jump cuts are the best.
Yeah. It
even like when something blows up and you can see it's a hard cut.
Yeah. It adds to the comedy.
I have to just say something to Andy. He's talking about why isn't the cigar puffing? Andy did send me a puffable prop cigar, but these are cigars that are for total close up when I'm actually in a room with somebody because they look like
Andy who? Not
Andy,
me.
Andy Purdue.
Well, you got to be clear. They think I'm giving you gifts. I'm not giving you a gift, bro.
Well, you're not taking my George Brooks ago. But this one is for if I'm in the room. But my problem is if you have a real cigar and you chomp on it all night.
Oh, it gets
the tobacco still gets in your mouth and you get kind of stoned.
Yeah. Oh,
and I don't want to get stoned.
No.
I'll leave that up to my son.
Oh yeah, we're gonna stone your son.
Right. Yeah, Sue Prav is saying it's getting late on the East Coast. Does that mean anything to us?
I guess we're done.
No.
Sue.
Yeah, thanks.
We're
Sue.
shutting us down.
I
Sue.
told you not to invite her. You know I'm kidding, Susan.
Yeah, we love you, Sue. Everybody, by the way, this is Sue thrown into being the moderator on this channel as well because we absolutely love Sue. She does a great job. She's been a part of more Stoogetalk lives than any of us. Never missed a show. I guess that's it. We love you guys. Jim Nething. So glad to see you here. Kay Fabian.
No, Andy, it would only puff if I actually lit it, but I actually coated this completely with like polyacrylic so that I don't get so it lasts a little longer.
Lori, Chantel, what are you doing? Just woke up after an accidental Brido nap and I missed the whole chat.
Lori, you better get that bottle of red wine going. All right, let's start over.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Hello,
everybody.
Welcome to Stoogetalk Live. This is just for Lori. Everybody else can go
He's
to bed.
Andy P. I'm Cricky D, and it's Thursday night. Another night for a Stoogetalk Live. Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks, Just Wafflin. We miss your beautiful names. I guess we don't really get to see your faces. But we love you. Thank you for joining us on this channel. We're gonna do this when Curly G's not around.
Wait, what?
Well, no. I'm saying no. I'm saying we're on this channel.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Otherwise, we're gonna be on our normal channel. But I need to keep this going. It's kind of a dead channel. I haven't put a lot on it lately, so I need to breathe life into it.
Thank you for joining us over here.
And also for my job, I want to start pushing more stuff towards Stooge Andy as well.
And I've tried to tell this to him, but he doesn't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
But the summer's a little bit crazy. It's crazy for Brad and for me. It's also crazy for you. You got your other stuff.
Whatever, dude.
But listen, August, we close all that and we're back to it.
We are?
We're back.
That's what they're saying.
We're back.
So we might be a little touch and go. I also am going to start playing around and going live on Three Stooges Plus. I'm trying to.
We did for Mo's birthday. We need to go.
Yeah,
back.
We did.
We got to do some stuff.
It
was going to come over and we have to announce Mo's candidacy, by the way, because we are in desperate straits for a new candidate.
We need a new candidate for president. We think it should be Mo Howard.
That's right. Any Stooge can be president, and that means me.
Yeah, and my mom didn't call. I don't know why. She probably doesn't know about this channel
because Brad's not on.
Maybe she loves.
No, that's true. She doesn't know about this channel.
No, she doesn't.
Which is why it's even more remarkable everybody's here.
But I do want to start going live also on Three Stooges Plus, and I'm trying to convince my boss to let me shift some time because I'm on social media 9 to 5, sitting in an office Monday through Friday. I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to go. But
how's that going?
And it's not going well.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm like, hey, we should be doing Saturday morning watch parties with the Stooges. Right? We should be doing also Tuesday night on Three Stooges Plus and have our own Stoogetalk Live over there. Right? So I'm trying to be more engaged, do more lives, do more stuff, get more interviews, do more watch parties because we do have the opportunity. It's just kind of, convincing the powers that be that we could do it. And it really upsets me. Who's that?
Bat Dan 92. Let's go, Bat Dan.
Oh, Mo for president. That's right.
I think there's time for me to actually get this thing.
I think so too. I mean,
I'm going to have to do it, right?
Yes.
It's who else?
Let's go. I sent you some videos we're going to look at. No.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of people in Hollywood.
I promised 2 things for America in answer to your question. 2 things.
No.
And I hope you deserve it.
I can't see. I can't see.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
My eyes are closed.
Oh, what about your nose?
No.
We're back, baby.
Where
were you? Where was you?
What was I? I don't know.
I don't know either. You were talking.
Ah.
Okay, that's all right. Mom didn't call. Mo for president. We got a lot of things going on.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Earl was
I was saying,
watch parties.
I know what I was going to say. There's a lot of people in this business that
there are.
No.
And a couple more can't ruin it.
No, this is serious.
Okay. Sorry.
There's a lot of people in this business that do not have faith in the Three Stooges, that think they're outdated, that think that there's not enough fans, that think that nobody wants to see them. And I know they're wrong. And it's one of the reasons that I believe that the Stooges are as big a success as they are on YouTube and Vizio and Freevee and Tubi and all the other places we're getting these, right? And we're growing like crazy on Instagram. We're growing like crazy on Facebook. We're growing like crazy on YouTube and TikTok. And our personal stuff is growing when we do Stooges, is that Stooges aren't done.
Oh.
And I'm so angry.
Never will be.
No. And I'm so angry that people think they are, and I want to shove it down their throats. I do. I think there should be a new generation of Stooges. Mo would want to keep it going, and nobody could ever
Mo would be doing it himself if he could.
He would be.
He'd be out there right now.
Yes, he would be. And
it is interesting. I mean, look, the Marx Brothers. I love the Marx Brothers. Nobody's talking about the Marx Brothers.
No, unfortunately, Laurel and Hardy, who I absolutely love. I
love
saw
Laurel and Hardy.
Love Laurel and Hardy.
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, but somehow, and I ask this, you'll see this when we do Fastlane or when I interview somebody, I always ask the same thing. What is the reason for the Stooges' popularity? Because they really are still super popular, right? And they're the longest running comedy team, right? I mean, they literally went to 1970, right? From the 20s to 1970, literally until Mo died.
And sometimes redoing the same stuff.
Yeah, a lot. And it's great. Yeah, Curly Joe gets a lot of grief, and I understand why. Yet at the same time, if you watch some of
Rich Kelton, yes.
if you watch some of the Curly Joe do the Maha routine or the stunt routine or the
knife throwing bit.
Yeah, it's hilarious. When you watch like their live show and you imagine what their live was, you know why they picked them. And look, the boys all slowed down.
Yes.
And they went a little more geared towards little kids, and they stopped the violence as much.
That was their market.
Yeah. But they were really funny.
Yeah.
It was still really funny.
Niagara Falls wasn't really Stoogey. It was very vaudeville-y.
Right. Yeah.
But it became a thumbprint for them.
And it's funny, too, because even in that, they're not doing it like Abbott and Costello did it, where it's like Lou runs into the guy who wants to go to like Pocomoco in the jail. They're doing it as a vaudeville routine.
What are we talking about?
Niagara Falls.
Niagara! Slowly I turn, step by step, inch by inch, and I grab them. I give him this, and I give him that, and I give him this, and I give him that.
Such a great routine.
It is a great routine.
And, by the way, me and Schwartzy did a bit. We did a version, and I got to put it online. We did our own version with Zoe Bell, who is a famous stunt woman, right? She was in not Hercules? What's the other one? The female version of Hercules. Xena. She was a famous stunt woman in that, right?
What's
she was
that?
Zoe Bell.
Yes.
And then she became the lead in Quentin Tarantino's least favorite.
The double feature thing with the
Death Proof.
Death Proof with the machine gun.
The woman on the cover
with the machine gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She's in the other one. And we did a version of Slowly I Turn with her. And we got to put it up on YouTube because I think it's very funny. Me and Schwartzy, we do it.
Amazing.
Jim Nething. Hey, and Chris, don't worry. The Stooges aren't done by a long shot.
Not by a long shot. And Jim, I know you're Yinzer like me. I don't think I'm going to get to Pittsburgh this trip, but if you can sneak over to Lancaster.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
And buy you a cup of coffee.
Jim, you're great.
Pour it on your lap.
And yeah, let's mention this. It's not Stooge related, but Shelley Duvall passed away today.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's amazing.
She was a big part of my growing up. I love Shelley.
She was the best olive oil ever.
She was the best olive oil. And
I mean, Shining, interesting.
She did a show, I think it was on HBO, where it was like Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tales, which I just was fascinated with as a kid. Yeah. And was she Mr. Mom?
I forgot all.
Was she Mr. Mom? Was she the wife? Shining,
I don't know.
of course.
I remember The Shining. I remember Popeye. Her olive oil stole the show for me.
She did, yeah. And I still love that movie. Yeah.
Sweetie.
She was so funny. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys, for this wacky, weird comeback episode.
I hope it was a little more on track than normal because Brad's Bieber.
Bieber's not here. Bieber. Kayla, we love you too. Thank you so much, Jessica, Shannon, Terry Garr, and Mr. Mob. Thank you so much. You're right. I also love Terry Garr. She was great.
Yeah. Oh, the Gene Wilder. There's a great Gene Wilder documentary online that you must watch.
Oh,
yeah.
You have it's Gene Wilder was obviously Mel Brooks' guy.
Yes.
And you have a Mel Brooks story.
I do have a Mel Brooks story.
It's not a Stooge story, but it's
we'll wrap up with this if you want.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks, he made a film called Men in Tights, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and we got an audition to be the Marx Brothers. There was a scene that had a bunch of Canadian crosses, which just as big, like all these cameos running back and forth across the thing. And so he wanted the Marx Brothers to be part of this legal thing. And once the lawyer said blah blah blah, we scrambled out. So I was Chico, Jeffrey Weissman, who was a Larry for us. He was Groucho.
He played our Larry in a live show.
And Don Marino, a beautiful friend of mine. Don was absolute resurrection of Harpo Marx. And the three of us wrote a sketch for Mel Brooks. And so we went into the audition without any qualms about taking over the room. We're like, we don't care. We don't care if we get this thing. This is Mel Brooks. So I don't even know what the other guys. I know that Don went and opened his desk and started throwing papers, and he got a stamper and just started stamping things. I'm not sure what Jeffrey was doing because I was too busy.
Jeffrey was Groucho?
Jeffrey was Groucho. Okay. And I was Chico, and I was just gushing. Oh my gosh! You're Anne Bancroft's husband. Oh, I love Anne Bancroft. She's the most beautiful woman. Oh, I love the Anne Bancroft. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you tell me? I tell her I say hello to you. Oh, she's a beautiful woman. And he was
Mr. Bancroft. You were calling him Mr. Bancroft.
I say, hey, Mr. Bancroft. And he was laughing, and he just went, okay, stop. Great. Your name, Dermick. Spell it. Dermick. D-U-R-M-I-C-K. Great. Marino. Great. You're great. Booked. Then a hurricane hit the set, destroyed the set. They had to rebuild the set. They cut the scene.
Oh, but you would have been.
Doesn't matter. It would have been anticlimactic to be in a room. To be in a room with Mel Brooks, having him fall off the chair laughing, was everything to me. Everything.
That's amazing.
Everything. That's what life is made of. It's made of laughs, joy, family, friends. You people.
Yeah, I agree. I'm supposedly going to go, and we're running out of battery, so we do have to end this, but I'm supposedly going to go
to sleep anyway.
To the American Film Market in Vegas
in
November.
Yes. I want to go.
To try to sell Stooges.
I want to go.
And I think we should go as the Stooges and do what you did. Because I want to do that. I want to run around as the Stooges. Listen, we're running late.
We didn't go as the Stooges to Disneyland, but we should have.
We should have.
Because we got so much attention.
We didn't even talk about the Disney. All right,
we'll
next
do that
week.
Next week,
we got to talk about Stooge fans
week.
and Disney.
Yeah,
you'll be here.
Yeah, I'm in Salt Lake City this week.
We're gonna do it. We'll probably have Brad back. We're gonna be We're working on the newest episode of Three Stooges in the Fast Lane. It's We Want Our Mummy. And you got an episode written.
I need to flesh it out a little bit. We got some more, and I got to do Bubble Trouble. I want to have that ready for Saxon when he gets back.
Great. So we got a lot of stuff coming on. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel as well. Go back to Curly's Grandson's channel. Like, subscribe, share some old stuff, and or at least watch some old stuff.
You are the best. Keep the laughter alive. Thank you for the super chats.
That's
incredibly generous. Again, that goes right back into what we're doing.
Yeah, it really does. And then don't be afraid to check out Three Stooges plus YouTube. You're going to start seeing this live on air as well. Facebook, Instagram, Andy Pagano or Stooge Andy, Chris Dermick Flathead on Facebook.
Right.
And Chris Dermick everywhere else.
Sure.
We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you next week.
Love you guys.
I can't do the Shemp.